ito kami ngayon, natalo kami sa TNC. Tingin ko kaya kami natalo kasi nung game 1, talo talaga kami sa macro, tsaka ang daming mechanical error. Kaya nagkaroon kami ng stump na game. Kaya nalulungkot kami doon. Pero hindi naman kami napanghinaan ng loob nun. Kaya nag-look up pa kami sa game 2 which is yung game 2, doon kami lumamang. Early lead nakuha namin, kaso hindi namin na-punish yung fed na mid lane namin dahil na-excite kami sa 5v5. Hindi namin nagamit yung kasa din na puro split push na sana, wala makakatapat sa kanya eh. Kaso yun nga, mistakes were made, hindi mababawi. Pero meron pa naman kami next week, kaya pagbubutihan namin, sana supportahin niyo pa rin kami. Ito, kalaban namin MSK. Nasasabi naman namin ready na kami. Kaso may onting takot pa rin ako sa Koreano nila. Pero ito ako, may tiwala pa rin sa sarili ko. Ako pa rin si Echizo.
Magandang hapon sa mga summoners. Ako po si Vulcan. Kasama ko si Arte. Kami ay magiging shoutcasters nyo papuntang Game 2 ng Match 1.
So there you have it, folks. And man, I gotta say,
It's here in the heart.
yeah, it's
Sakit sa puso.
masakit sa pusong sabihin, pero as far as expectations, MSK, without a doubt, lived up to that. And as per what's been like flowing around on the social media atmosphere as far as predictions, I'd have to agree with everyone. Could go a clean 2-0 unless Infuse could find a way to pull themselves together. Because MSK, again, I'm loving how amazing they are going into the split. I have high hopes for them. Infused, they're still a bit shaky. There's still a lot that needs a bit of work. I was hoping that it could have been remedied in the midst of them being absent for about a season. I mean, at least this old roster in comparison to the more recent Infused roster, rather. So we'll just have to see.
But hang on, just hang on. Judging from that interview that we saw with si Hechiso, you can feel that despite being one of the veteran players, despite making it to the PGS, you think that's going to be, let's say, a dream that to other players it is a dream, but still there is still fear. We kind of sense that Hechiso has a bit of a conflict. He's scared, but he wants to still play for his team. And judging from that game 1, here are the standings, and I still believe that when I saw in game 1 his attempt, his resolve, he was still trying to get those pickups, especially in the bot lane, then in the mid lane. He was trying his best, but I want to see Infused. Can they still climb this mountain and have what it takes and stand their ground against MSK?
Quite a mountain that they have to climb, I gotta say. I mean, Naga Esports during week 1 was already quite enough as is to try to reach that point. Didn't quite work out for them. They did go 0-2. Going up against MSK, I mean, I'd even go as far as saying, if you're gonna compare everybody out of all the teams, like MSK, that's like climbing Mount Everest for Infused. And Miracles I wouldn't say Miracles necessarily, but I do hope to see that Infused, they could pull it together.
And if you said Mount Everest, it can still be climbed. It just takes a lot of practice and skill. Maybe Infused can't do it. Maybe the other teams can. But this will be a test for Infused to see that do they have what it takes to climb this mountain. But if not, it's still okay. They have next week, as Hechiso said in the interview, more weeks to come, more ways to come back. And in our new format of the PGS, top 6 will make it to the new single elimination type of format. It's not yet over for Infused. As grim it may look for them, they can still try and make it for the bigger picture.
True. And man, it's just that if you're gonna look at a lot of these teams going into the split, I mean, without a doubt, ito siguro yung pinaka-competent na set ng teams na nakita ko. Some, of course, I mean, di pa rin maiwasan na some will always be stronger than the others. And with Infused, what I would like to see, somewhat similar to BRE, na they have strengths but weaknesses which could heavily hinder them as far as being here in the pro scene. For Infused, I feel like it would be a good game plan to work around your stronger elements like Asak and Hechizo, but in the long run, you know, that it won't always work out that way. So it's always good to have that flexibility to not rely on just these key people alone. Sure, it works in some circumstances, but if you're going up against teams like MSK, which does have that flexibility, then that's a true test right there.
I think that's why I'm not saying this as a statement itself, but in my opinion, and I think that Isaac and Hachiso, are they having some kind of miscommunication? Because when we saw in game 1, Isaac wanted to go in. Isaac did that flash in with that Vladimir, follow it up with the ignite. Then what did other members of his team do? They were behind Hachiso in the mid lane tower where Isaac flashed it alone. What is this, Arctic? Is this miscommunication happening?
Well, you know, based on experience with teams that I've managed to work with before, communication usually could be a problem. Kasi minsan may difference talaga ng opinion na kahit sabihin natin, kahit magkasundo lahat ng mga players na, o sige, basta sundin natin yung call ni player na to. Pero going into the game, may mga impulse pa rin na hindi napipigilan. So that could be a factor. I hope it's not necessarily case for Infuse kasi yun yung isa sa medyo mahirap i-adjust lalo pag game time na talaga. I mean, we're already in week 2 of the PGS and it's all or nothing at this point. Every single point counts.
And every single mistake will be a key element, a key, let's say, key point for any team to pick up. And Minaski, this is a team that we would always say, new improved, 2 imports, very hyped, strong roster entering this 2018 PGS. All or nothing, they mean business. And for Infused, I really wish and I hope that they can still try and climb this mountain and to show that despite seeing, let's say, a very strong roster, something maybe to them is unstoppable, but have been proven wrong in week 1 against TME.
But, I mean, in the midst of that, we could all keep our hopes up for Infuse. Pero, you have to give credits pa rin to Mineski. I know for a fact that they've been working so hard going up into the split. They're in it to win it. They want to get back into that throne as champions of the PGS. At sa nakikita ko, based on what they've managed to do so far, week 1 going into week 2, absolutely amazing. To be honest, I'd go as far as saying I'm a fan of potentially seeing them as a champion, but let's go ahead and check out what's happening here in the pick and ban.
Agreed with that statement, Arte, because Mineski from the 2017 summer split, they were so close to be called champions of that split. But what happened there? Team and the Eagles reverse swept them, took something away from Mineski that was within their grasp, and they had 1 import. So, what kind of message did that send for Mineski? Let's go all out. Let's have another import. Let's have 2 imports. This is all or nothing. And for Mineski, they want to claim that championship, which was so close to them in the 2017 summer split.
Interesting though, for this particular game, looks like we'll be seeing Hamas go up the top lane. Exosin will be fielded in the mid lane for game 2. So, I mean, this is what I like about Hamas. If there's one guy that could just really play any role here, that's your boy right there.
This is what I think I heard around with our content creator. He did say that he heard all the pro players saying that, yeah, James can be played in any role. And now let's experiment with James going up against Infuse.
Whoa, hold your horses right there, Vulcan. Let's go ahead and check out this composition. Teach me how to doggy in the top lane. James running the Nasus. I mean,
interesting, because the Kleptomancy drop rate has been lowered. After 15 minutes, it will be up. Melee champions do benefit the Klepto more, but let's see, will this be... It won't be a fast game as we saw in last week where Suzaku played his Nasus. By that time, it wasn't patch 8.2, but now with a new patch, this is still not yet a huge difficulty or an obstacle for Infuse because they are running the Jax. This could be the Prestige attack Jax, or if you want to go for the same type of strategy as James, I do see some Jaxes going for the Klepto.
So, I mean, with all said and done though, with those compositions locked in, I mean, sa mga summoners natin syempre na nanonood, whether sa Facebook Live or sa gaming.youtube.com/pagegarena/live, yung mga peeps ko dyan na active sa chat parate, let us know kung sinong team ang gusto nyong manalo dito. 2-0 ba para sa Mineski o gusto nyo ba makakita ng 1-1 going into Game 3 pag nagawa yan ng Infuse?
Let's see.
INF
I mean, for Infuse, this could be their chance to stand their ground against Mineski, one of the giants in the 2018 Bacchus PGS Spring Split. 2 imports, new improve, and James really playing all the roles because he was sub-jungle in the last split, and now, experimenting him, he can play any role. Mineski believes this and trusts in James, but let's see, can Infuse still trust Hechiso? Because Hechiso, I think he's a good jungler, and putting him on a Shyvana, you don't do that to a jungler who has good rotations. I mean, Shyvana just farms, and Hechiso is not something that he flourishes around that type of playstyle. You gotta make him roam, and that's why giving him a Kha'Zix can perhaps change the dynamic how Infuse will play in Game 2.
I think the great thing about Hechizo is that the Shyvana, I love the Shyvana if across the lanes you'd kind of have champions which would enable the Shyvana to go for potential successful ganks. But I mean, since this is Game 2 right now, a Kha'Zix, looking at things across the board, I mean, I guess time will tell as we head on to the Rift in just a little bit.
Alright, Summoners, this is going to be the second game of our first match in the week 2 of the PGS. I hope that for Infuse, they can try and change their dynamic, because right now for Hechiso, he is playing Kha'Zix, not a Shyvana where he does. Technically, in my opinion, you don't put really. Shyvana doesn't really have good rotations. It's just more on farm every day.
And I mean, just looking at the entire roster of Infused here, medyo, I couldn't help but think about what were the quirks of the previous Infused with Hechiso still on it in comparison to this Infused. I mean, with Hechiso still on it, but of course, with a little bit of a shake-up here because sa mga hindi masyadong familiar sa kung ano yung roster ng Infused dati nung nandun pa rin si Hechiso bago siya mag-IPT, what we've been seeing there was Gertrude in the top lane pa rin. The difference, of course, is that we're seeing ASAC now in the mid lane as well as Queng replacing JRM on ADC. Tapos nakikita natin yung flex between Sachi and Akil on support. So, I don't know, I'm a little bit on the fence here. I think ASAC is without a doubt a step up as a replacement to the previous mid laner of Infuse. For the bot lane, for Queng, I'm not quite sure just yet. It could be because hindi lang natin nakikita masyadong mag-shine yung Infuse. Because, I mean naman natin, week 1 you're going up against Naga, week 2 you're going up against Mineski. There's not really that room to show your strengths here. But then again, you can't really blame it on just that. When you go into the PGS, you want to be prepared. And it doesn't matter who you're facing. You have to... It's game time.
And for Infuse, they need to put on their game paces when entering this second game. This is going to be match point for Mineski. Because if ever they get 2-0'd again, this is going to hurt their morale. This is going to hurt their, let's say, spirits. Because when you're starting the first 2 weeks of the PGS getting a standing of 0-4, that does not sit well with the player's mentality. That will really psych them out.
And I'd like to give particular emphasis here on the starts of both Queng and Gary. We are going to be seeing a Door and Shield start for both the Sivir and Cosmos. So, not really that time wherein, I mean, even I was kind of on the fence with the Relic Shield meta before, wherein it's ADC, both ADC and support, but because of those changes to Relic Shield, we're not really as optimal to build it on ADCs anymore. Well, not just, well, just generally for ranged champions, so.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that, but it does make the classic, the way that Relic Shield was used before, let's say, helps you get your support items quicker. Let's say if you want to get an Ardent, you want to get more offensive supports, because Sightstone has been removed, and this does make itemization more comfortable for supports. They can be more, let's say, aggressive if they want to go for defensive or offensive. But for, Relic Shield is not really a good pickup. Doring Shield is more favorable.
But still, let's go ahead and talk about this Nasus pick right here, because Ham is so far not even showing any signs of really slowing down. If anything, he'll probably be just playing comfortable, just farming his way, building up on those stacks until maybe Gertrude, until such time he does reach level 6 wherein we could see potential trades. But for the meantime, it's just going to be a little bit more of a breeze from James unless he pushes the lane. But I highly doubt that. I mean, at this point, he's just letting the waves come to him and just free farm like there's no tomorrow.
It's more on freezing the lane and just waiting out for his spikes. He needs to get that Sheen up as fast as he can. And perhaps maybe Jason will intervene. He's on a jungle Camille. it's actually a very cheesy jungler because Camille can also bypass terrains, bypass vision, and has great mobility.
Yeah, I mean, just when you want the just when Gertrude thinks he could just leap out of fights, one Hextech ultimatum to lock him down, that kind of makes a tricky escape for that Jax. But still, it's interesting to note though na kung makikita naman natin yung first few minutes ng game, si Gertrude yung nagpupush kay James. Pero kahit si Gertrude yung nagpupush, technically you would think that, hey, he has a better grasp of the CS, but oh, we have a fight.
First gang of the game coming in onto the mid lane. Jaejun goes in, forcing out Isaac's flash. That's going to be a win for Jaejun. He's happy with that and sees the control ward. So again, burns the summoner and takes away some vision from Isaac.
Ooh, I remember, I'm not sure if that was just yesterday or from week 1, wherein once the flashdown is down for the rise, it's a little bit trickier because it does give that signal to Jaejun mas marami akong room na gumang because Isaac, he doesn't really have as many escape tools as he would, maybe until he does have his ult, but with the flash down, makes it a little bit more breezy for him. But yeah, what I was talking about earlier in the top lane, medyo nasa-surprise pa ako na considering Gertrude was the one pushing out lane, yung expect mong shouldn't you be the one that's kind of optimal on, okay, knock up there onto Gary though. And it looks like Kwang, is he going to go in onto that Kog'Maw? That's quite a bit of damage that he's taking. Kwang as well, though. He has to be very careful. Gary, no, unfortunately does not dodge the boomerang. That will be first blood. Kwang as well, though. Just one more hit from TG, and he's going to be going down. Gets blocked by Sachi. Well played, that All-Star.
Great block by TG to help his ADC Kwang survive that trade. And first blood, that's going to be huge for Infuse. And we are seeing that for Kwang, he is running the minion dematerializer, so he will be going for powerful clears. So this is gonna stall Infuse, but this is gonna be a two-way street. That Nasus will also scale into the late game. So for Infuse, good start. First blood going on to the ADC.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much value that does mean for Wang and Sachi though, but
Press the attack on the Jax. So for James, he has to be a bit careful facing off against this Jax because once level 6 does happen, yes, Nasus gets the ultimate, but let's have a breakdown of the replay in the bot lane. The first blood.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gary, a little bit of a misstep right there. Doesn't dodge the boomerang coming back to Kwang, so a little bit unfortunate there, but doesn't really necessarily set back Gary and TG though. It's just one kill.
Still okay, they can still deal with this loss, but for Kog'Maw, getting always pushed under his own turret, it's going to be difficult for MSK because, okay, they do have the Braum for the protection, but now they have to call in Jaejun for help. And when you're having a Halistar, that's not going to be a safety for a Kog'Maw. You can immediately bypass the Unbreakable. Now, it's going to be a trade of Sachi's very low. Kwang trying to help his team, gets the stun, and that might be Gary getting a revenge kill. Yes, Gary takes on Kwang.
Man, well played. Mineski just easily getting that groove back, gets the vengeance kill, and if you're gonna look at it, unless Infuse could try to make some magic work with this Kha'Zix, maybe with the Jax, but it looks like we're gonna be seeing another fight potentially.
Plays, Jaejun coming in. There's going to be the hero's entrance. Will knock up Sachi at the max range. Now, Grey Pulverize to disengage, but a flash was burned by Exo. Will taunt Sachi, granting him his first kill.
Oh man, and Mineski, 4 members
First turret,
converging on this turret. A little bit of a slow take. I don't think they'll manage to take it just yet, but that was very well played. And that's some pretty good pressure Mineski's exerting towards that bot side.
The timing, the response, level 6 is up for Exo. And you're talking about a mid Galio, so you have to respect that response from Mineski. And for Infused, I did see that Sachi, he was trying his best to stall, trying to protect Hechiso. Good part on him, though.
Man, Infused, I'm really hoping that they start picking up the speed, because what I like about Mineski's composition is that there's like Gary's potentially going to be almost untouchable if Mineski plays their cards right here. I mean, you have the slow from the Nasus, Jaejun to just stop anybody that tries to go in on via Hextech Ultimatum. Exo, I mean, it's just a Galio we're talking about, but Exo's spotting.
Look at that Hechiso.
Has to make an escape there. Nope.
Upgrades the ultimate, so he will be grinding that stealth. Takes away the red buff from Jaejun, so that's gonna help him have a upper hand. Flash and Pulverize combo coming from Sachi. Will that be a kill? Yes, that's a stun connecting. And Isaac will be taking a kill, baiting in that teleport. Here comes Hechiso with a Kha'Zix. He does get spotted out. Jaejun Level 5 does not have the Hexen Ultimatum, cannot help and re-engage the fight for his team. Flash in, that's gonna be Hammers leading the charge with a Nasus, headbutts him away under that turret. TG comes in, again, no ultimate for this Braum, cannot engage with the Glacial Fissure.
Not a bad pickoff right there, getting EXO. And in exchange, MSK, they tried to get at least one trade-off, but everybody just made an immediate escape from Infused. Good chase, though, coming in from MSK, though.
And look at Gertrude, seeing that teleport burnt by Hamas. He's taking his time to push his turret, wanted to go for the first turret, but Hamas did intervene just in time. And I really just love how Sachi getting the upper hand there, having the level 6. If Jaejun and DG had their ultimates, that would have been completely different.
Indeed. And one thing I would like to see from Infused here, though, just continue that build-up. Because if there's one thing that they really don't want to happen under any circumstances, is to allow Gary all that room to transition into the later parts of the game. And man, I'm pretty sure we all know how painful a Kog'Maw is once you reach that point.
We did hear... Oh wait, what's this? Gertrude!
Oh.
He will just stay. He's gonna clear those waves up, but going from the interview that we did see in the start, where Hajiso was showing some fear, because he knows that the Impers are good.
Oh yeah.
He respects that. That's something that you need to take at face value, that Mineski, no matter what you say, their roster is just so powerful. Sometimes you can see that it's unstoppable, but it's still possible to climb that mountain, and Infused is going for that style. But I'm scared for Infused because Mineski, let's not disregard that. They have Jaejun and Flash, and that's going to be the bind connecting on the exit. He does pop the stasis. That's going to be some damage reduction, but will not be enough for him to survive. Isaac gets his second kill. Meanwhile, on the riverside, TG trying to respond, gets picked off by Sachi. Here comes the Realm Warp. Will they make it in? Glacial Fissure is available. There is the knockoff. There's the Unbreakable. Again, surviving the damage, forcing out a flash from TG. And Fuse still going at it with Isaac picking up his third kill, making it his killing spree.
That's what I'm talking about right here. That's the proactivity that I want to see from Infuse constantly over the next few minutes to come. And pretty good leverage for them. Great start, 4-2. Not really a significant...
Sachi with this Alistar. You gotta love that Alistar bypass. It's such a surprise. And now we're going to pick up their first kill. And now, first turret will be going towards the blue team, Infused Esports.
Man, but with all said and done, though, you'd think that all the proactivity that's happening for Infuse, there'd be a massive lead for them. I wouldn't say quite yet. It is a good step up for them, but does it necessarily put them in a position, hey, we could just spearhead, we could continue to pressure, topple over Mineski? Not quite there yet.
I mean,
it's a good start, though.
It's a good start for Infused. It's not going to be, let's say, definite statements that they're going to win this game, because let's not forget, they're running a Nasus and a Kog'Maw with a Braum. But for Gertrude, trying his best to zone him out, that's a death sentence. You do not want to commit to that. He made a mistake here, trying to back off. Flash is available for Hamas, so he will not push on, he will not press on to Gertrude. But he should learn that once you see an ultimate on Nasus, the cooldown reduction from the Siphoning Strike is going to be so painful. 50% reduction plus defensive stats. A Jax at this point cannot do anything against a Nasus.
I like that restraint coming in from Hamas to not use the flash to try to attempt to go for that kill onto Gertrude, because I mean, there's a lot more scenarios within the next few minutes that Hamas could actually get a lot more value of using that flash. So good restraint right there for not using it just to get that one single kill. And Hamas is having a ball right now. Okay, a little bit.
He knows that Hamas does not have ultimate, so Gertrude will commit to this fight. Counter Strike will be there for the stun. Press attack is in play. That's going to be more damage for Hamas. Leaps in and does the empowered blow to finish him off.
Okay, that was the scenario I was kind of hoping that Hamas would have used that flash for. But still, at the end of the day, great move there coming in from Gertrude. I mean, let's go ahead and look at the concentration of kills that Infuse has invested on. Ooh, good dragon take. But as far as people that I'd really like to see Infuse try to shut down, perhaps maybe a bit more so onto, okay, Hamas, as well as Gary, because EXO, he has the most deaths right now, but then again, he's a Galio who could kind of afford this, because later on during the fights...
Infuse being the first ones to react. Teleport channels in. So with extra 2 members in the top lane, gets knocked out. Oh, so close for Sachi. He is alive for now, but Hamas does have the ultimate, and Isaac does stop him in his tracks.
That's the coordinate. I think, I'm not sure if they heard you earlier, Vulcan, but the communication, I mean, it's pretty much on point right now, yung synergy.
Finally,
niya.
we're seeing the communication from Infuse because in the first game, when Isaac goes in, it's this, Quang. You're alone there, flies
Ooh.
away from the fissure, pops the heal, wants to get the speed boost, but Gary gets the max range on the slow, but TG will finish him off. Here comes Fechiso. Gary may buy time, but Sachi will just headbutt him away. Gang, thanks for the free kill. He'll take it. Infuse playing a very different dynamic in game 2.
Man, I'm kind of on the fence here with what's happening. 9-3 right now, leaning towards Infuse. Goal difference, it's not worthy. Nothing particularly substantial just yet. I wouldn't say it's a stomp just yet because Mineski, the more they transition into later parts, I think they do have that potential. But ooh, Jajun looks like he's going to try to get onto Gertrude though.
Respecting that leaps away thanks to the ward. And then the question is, can Infuse keep this up? Because Mineski, they will fight back with that Nasus and the Cogmouth, plus the Galio and the Camille. Does really well in team fights. The synergy is there. The composition of Mineski is really impressive. And I would say they picked a lot of engaging champions, but for Infuse, they have the Unsealed Spellbook meta going on for themselves. Isaac and for Quang on the Sivir.
Oh, meanwhile, looks like a 3-man configuration. Gertrude actually making a recall. Will they try to force it? This turret is quite low though. They
Very
can potentially
low.
go for it.
There's the wave clear. Quang will be focusing on the clear, but for Infused, they just don't feel comfortable. They won't commit. Something is up, and there was a ward for them to spot out that Jaejun and Tichi was there in the top lane, and now a 1v1. Gary pops the stasis. That's gonna be Hedges, so baiting him in. Right with the good timing will take down Gary.
Man, oh man. Infuse, they're having quite a ball across the map right now. And not really sure. Maybe Mineski going for a little bit more of an experiment right now. I'm not quite sure, but it's still too early to say that Infused has this right now. Because the more time that's exerted throughout this game, the more time that other elements like Hamis and Gary has to scale, Hamis has to stack up. But, I mean, if anything, it does definitely slow Mineski down from reaching that. So that's definitely a plus for Infused right now. Whether or not they could just continue to pressure Mineski, that I'm interested in seeing. Because, in all fairness, they do have a Sivir, though. So that does kind of allow them their own late form.
Hamas can catch a break in the top lane. When you're seeing a Nasus, you really want to oppress him, push him back.
Man, oh man. Mineski, I mean, I'm liking the confidence coming from Infuse in all fairness. Kind of catching Mineski off guard in some scenarios, but yeah.
I mean, 24s, and next item could be the Guardian Angel. It's more of a popular pickup, but we'll see. Maybe he'll go for Styrax. Who knows?
I mean, everyone across the board for Infused right now. Shining, Shimmering, Splendid with these KDs. He's 203 for the Kazakhs. I mean, Isaac right now, he's having a ball on this rise.
Yeah, but still for Mineski, they're going for the long game. And once, I was going to say that Hamis, once he gets the Triforce, he will be a threat. Now he has the Trinity Force and the Rage Blade for Gary. So when a team fight does happen, Mineski will get the upper hand. Gertrude pops the Grandmaster Arms, gets the defensive stats, but that's nothing for Nasus on the Spirit Fire, dodging that knockup. That's going to be Hamis and Exa committing to this turret, takes down their first turret of the game.
There you have it. That's power of Mineski right there. The fast response is coming in from EXO with that hero's entrance on the Galio. But, man, that's the interesting thing, though. I mean, even with the Unsealed Spellbook kind of doing works for Infused here, Mineski, they have their own tricks up their sleeves. I mean, Jajan on this Camille could just rappel his way across this map. And there you go, EXO as well. I mean, he has Teleport right now. Same goes for Hamis, but EXO, if Teleport's down, he could always go with Hero's Entrance as well. So there's a lot of options working for Mineski here. But then again, Infuse, I gotta say, did a good job at slowing down Mineski a bit, but you still have to take into account of the time and not allow it to reach a point where things start getting stale.
But at least we're seeing some proactiveness from Hedgesa. This is where Hedgesa shines. Don't put him on a jungler that relies so much on farming, who does not contribute to too much rotations or proactiveness, or tries to go for other lane ganks, because look how much he's doing works right now for his team. Look how much aggressive his team is moving.
Oh man, Gertrude looks like he's gonna go right
that
at
really
it with James.
hurts.
Look at Gertrude, just look at that confidence right there, knowing that he can try to go for things here, but I gotta give my... Oh,
There's a
okay.
lot of confidence from Gertrude. We're seeing all the members of Infuse committing towards the bot lane. Teleport is going to come through. Exorcistus taunts him away. Quang, though, will be forced to face up against Yechun. Boomerang will connect, but it will be the basic attack to finish him off.
And Mineski just not catching a break so far. With all said and done, even in the midst of trying to go for proactive moves, Infuse just ready to match whatever Mineski does across this map here. And great control. Looks like we're seeing a shove out here coming in from Infuse towards the spot side. Teleport will come
Here comes
in.
Quang with the unsealed spellbook. Pressure is there. Teleport will chance through. Rift Herald has been spawned by Infuse. Can Mineski stall this? No, they have the Herald, so they will be forced back up perhaps. Will Infuse commit though? That's the question. EXO leading the charge. Taunt will not connect onto any members.
Oh, Isaac though, he's
As
trying
back
to...
away. He can't run away because the Wither cooldown should be up by now, so he only needs help from his team. Has to buy. Here comes the help. Ooh, instead Sachi with a 3-man knockout, but the glacial fissure is there for Mineski to win that clash. Gary gets the shot down from Isaac, making a double for Gary, and now here's Entrance connecting the fight, extending it into Mineski's favor.
In all fairness, though, towards the top side, Gertrude manages to take down Jae-jun. Here comes the teleport to make sure that Mineski salvages that turret. But, man, Mineski, that's what I would have liked to have seen from them.
Counter-strike, one more hit for the attack. Ooh, stasis bait, third fire, there is the outplay.
Gertrude
my
did not
God.
see that coming.
Feels bad.
But, man, that's what I like about Mineski's composition. Once they start toppling on you, once the numbers works in their favor, once you get collapsed on by elements like a Galio, like TG with the CC as well, James, it's kind of a tough deal for Infuse to back away once they do go commit. So,
What a way to bait in your enemy, and for Gertrude, just bites into the trap. James with a stopwatch will be winning that duel, but for Mineski, this is their winning clash in the replay. Let's have a breakdown.
yeah, so Infuse, they're trying to come on the run. When you're trying to go for the response, a little bit too late though, because a lot of the elements from Infuse were already quite low. So there wasn't really much of a front line that could work for Quang at this point, and just kind of succumbs to that at the end of the day. So definitely a good win for Mineski there.
In the end, for Mineski, they had more tools to work with, but they had... What did they have in that fight? James. I mean, a Nasus in the 21-minute mark is no joke. You may think that it's just a Nasus, but this is the Runes Reforged with the Kleptomancy Nasus. He may have more gold than he... Despite his CS, it's really misleading. So, at this point, the raid that the Nasus can scale it gets accelerated. So, for James to get another outplay in the top lane, great proactiveness from James, going from the bot to the top and defending the inner top lane turret.
But you have to take note. Let's go ahead and check out Gary here, sitting at a 3-3-1. Earlier, just before that clash, the more recent clash, of course, was sitting at a 1-3-1. So slowly building up could be deceptive for Infuse if they don't keep that in check. I do like seeing that Gertrude making proactive moves amidst action happening elsewhere on the map, but that window slowly closing. It's still wide open, but I mean, as these minutes go by, that's something that they have to take note.
And as the minutes goes by for Mineski, that window will be broken down. And I think for Mineski, they're just going to force their way in and try and push back Infuse, because the lead that Infuse has right now, we're talking about Hechiso on the Kazakhs. Yes, it's really good. There's the Assassinate, there's the Assassin, there's the Burst. But that's not going to mean anything when you're talking about a Galio with the damage reduction, the Camille for the lockdown. We're seeing so much beefy tanks to protect Gary. And Gary, as an ADC, he's competent. He is skilled enough with his positioning on this Gong Mao. And for TG, can play both aggressive to engage and to also protect Gary.
Oh man, meanwhile, James just dealing with this wave that pushed in, coming in from Gertrude. Gertrude just so confident. I mean, this solo splaying wherever. But the tricky part here is that there's not really much you can... Okay, look at this though. Infuse
Dance
starting to
around the
establish
Baron.
control over the Baron, yeah.
They're just playing with it. This is the exciting part of the game, actually. I'm actually on my seat here. to see that how can this Baron favor Infused, or how can it crush Infused's hopes of taking away at least 1 point for now. For now. It's not yet over, but perhaps they can take away 1 point, and the next game could be 3 points. That's
Oh.
ambitious when you're talking about a strong team like MSK.
Hero's entrance, though, exhausted by Exo 2. Support Jajan and Infuse. Looks like gonna make a gutsy move to start this Baron. Will they succeed, though? MSK knows what's up.
5 members in the Baron pit. Fissure is available, but the entrance is not there. Baron will be going to Infuse Esports with a smite from Hedgehog. Secures the Baron, and now Isaac takes down Exo. Realm Warp is there for the flank, and now for MSK. Forced to back away, but will Hedgehog let that happen? He is low. James is there. That is a dangerous Nasus, but they will go on it. They have the Baron, they have the numbers advantage, but James will be surviving at the expense of his ultimate. And now with the Barons in the hands of Infused Esports, they will be pushing the inner mid lane turret.
Indeed, Infuse. That will be a lot of value that they're getting off of this Baron. Exo will be up within the next 10 seconds, so I think
Okay.
MSK will be able to potentially defend this inhibitor. This turret could be going
They
down.
have to back up. They can't be too greedy. Note that Jajan has the Hex that ultimatum, so they can go for an engage, but will be a bit reserved there. They will just back away and let Infuse get a reset.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, MSK, they don't really need to force chasing down Infused. They have the potential to go on defense here. But let's go ahead and see, because we have seen Gertrude quite a bit of power he packs whenever he goes for a split. Not to mention, Huang is running a Sivir and plus the Rise, so waves could be cleared out quite efficiently along with this Baron empowered minion wave pushing.
And a Baron empowered minion on a Baron power. Sorry, tongue twister there. A Baron buff for Sivir is really good because we're talking about an unsealed spellbook. Can go for, let's say, the teleport, pressure the lanes, and join in the fight. This is the power, this is the pressure that a Sivir can bring into a team fight.
Let's go ahead and see what configuration will Infuse be going for across this map. From what I'm seeing here so far, looks like Gertrude has been sent up to the top side. Everyone else is a little bit scattered here. Quang and Sachi towards the mid, while Isaac is towards that bot side. Take note, he is running Ghost, so no teleport plays. Could use ultimate to potentially go in, but that does have a limited range to it.
So Baron buff in the side of Infused. Now they need to make most out of this buff, and for Gertrude and for Hedgeso, they're just doing it. Takes down the inner top lane turn, but for Mineski, still standing firm, standing their ground, and challenging Infused to push more because they can engage the fight. They have the Skogma with the static shift, the Rage Blade.
Neski, they want to make sure that they don't give up any inhibitors within the time that Infuse does have this Baron, because
One
an
more
inhibitor
hit.
down would be pressure that they have to deal with and loss of control as well potentially on the map. Ooh.
And Hamas is still in the bot lane. He does have teleport ready. 1 hit on that turret. Perhaps can take it on 2 hits. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the window of opportunity. Infuse is looking
And
for,
they
they're
can
just waiting
dive
for that
it.
wave to push in.
Pressure in the top lane. Gertrude doing his job there. He does have to teleport and flash. Everyone has also on the hunt for the dive here. Infuse making their way slowly, aiming for the inhibitor first. They know that they need to take down this inhibitor. They may rotate towards the top side, join in Gertrude perhaps, but seeing James not caring at all.
Nope, not at
Going at it in this bot lane. This could be a pressure. Will Infuse break though? Under this pressure though, they have to stand strong. For Infuse, will they go for a reset?
Yes, looks like
I don't know,
Is
they'll
on the
just-
hunt though.
Okay, that's a mistake. Ratchet's Glory pops the slow. He knows he's there. Oh my god, the damage. Gets the stun. This is not fair. James gets ganked by 4 members.
Well, that's the interesting thing though. The good thing about what Hamus did by split pushing towards the bot side, it made Infuse kind of think whether or not they should try to push for going for Nexus turrets or just kind of hold back a bit, make a recall. We do have to deal with Hamish pushing towards that bot side, so
But in the end, I think it was worth for Infuse. I mean, let's say a Hamas, yes, he took down the inner bot lane turret. But for Infuse, they took down the inhibitor turret, the inhibitor, and consolation prize, a free kill for their teammates taking down Hamas. Now the death timer for this Nasus is going to be 12 seconds.
yeah, there's definitely great value to what Infuse got out of there. But then again, I always have to go back to looking at elements. We're already hitting that 30-minute mark. Gary is going to start hurting on this Kog'Maw, already near completion of his third item. But then
With the
again,
edge.
Quang does have that upper hand. Already 3 items completed for him. So still a little bit up on that Kog'Maw.
But remember, MSK has TG on this Braum. This gives Gary so much safety. And for look at that, Summoner burnt there. Flash is gone for Gertrude, respecting the taunt. And the engage of Mineski, they have a Camille, so they really need to respect it because the range is just ridiculous there. And for Infused, they need to wrap up this fight.
Oh, James though, not really feeling as much though. He did go a little bit more on the tanky route. Has Dreadnought along with the Righteous Glory. So
Baron buff is gone for Infused, yes, and the Righteous Glory is there for extra engage. So like I said before, Mineski has all these tools to engage. And for Infused, they have all the resources to end this fight. But for Mineski, they're doing a great job by stalling. They know that they have Gary, they have Nasus, they have Hammons scaling to the late game, and not just that, Jaejun on this Camille too. Going for a Trinity Force completed right now with the Warriors Enchantment. So this could be perhaps Mineski standing their ground against Infused. And for Infused, a bit eager, a bit impatient. You can feel that this team wants to really show us. And judging by what Hechiso said earlier, he really wants to win the game and take away 1 point.
did you see the damage that Gary dealt onto Hatches?
That's what I was saying. Mineski has Gary on this Kog'Maw, but for Infused, they need to close the game. They're a bit excited. And that's what Hechiso said too. They were excited for a 5v5. They forgot to go more of a macro play. He did say that they were lacking in there. Let's hope they don't make the same mistake. But for Mineski, being the veterans, having 2 imports who played in the international scene, they will not break. This is just simple pressure for them. They can still maintain their composure.
But in the midst of that, Vulcan take 30 seconds until Baron does come out. So tingnan natin. Will Infuse get the proper setup towards making sure they have control over that buff? Mineski already going to make the preemptive move to do so themselves.
Baron is live in 14 seconds. Mount next Drake is Mountain Drake, but still far away. Let's see. It's the Baron buff, so I'm excited to see. And I think for the viewers there, know that we're still running the thrill of the hunt. This could be maybe the time that you can get a triple kill or perhaps a Baron steal. This is the exciting part for all of us, especially the viewers who are waiting for that sweet promo.
Let's go ahead and see at the midst of all of this Infuse. If ever we do see a fight break out, can they get to Gary before he could shred everybody else from their roster? Or will Mineski?
Oh god. This is actually huge because Infused right now has all the resources they can go for this Baron. But for Mineski, they have Gary, so one small mistake, it's going to favor Mineski. They have so much protection, and I don't care, you have vision here, we're still gonna risk it. Will they succeed? Teleport, channeling through. We are seeing Gertrude trying to go for a flank. Changes his mind. Oh, that's painful. Now Infuse is split apart. They pick up Gertrude. Now it's for Mineski to win this fight. There is the slow, but there will be a retaliation from Quake. Takes down Hammers. 1-for-1 trade. 2 top laners gone from that fight. 2-man knockout from the Pulverize. Quang with the boomerang takes down Jaejun for that double kill. Isaac with a realm of reposition. Goes in with a flash. A Quadra. There's your highlight there. And the... Oh, Penta!
Penta kill indeed for Quang. Well played right there. And it's interesting. I was just talking about I haven't seen that shining moment from Quang just yet. There you have it right there. And thrill of the hunt, guys. Penta kill is
well, I guess our viewers are happy with that. I was actually going for that. Let's see, maybe a Baron steal. But Pentakill, I take it.
wow. And interesting enough.
This is their winning game. This is their winning clash, I guess.
Indeed. Look at
Great job by Infuse here. The timers are kind of huge because we're seeing a teleport coming in. I don't think Hammons can stall long enough, but can Mineski fight back here? Nexus is very low. Go goodbye, Quang. One more hit. Yes, this will be Infused forcing a game 3 against MSK.
Wow, there goes my prediction right there. GG, well played. 1-1 even between both sides. Very, very good, I gotta say. I mean, a little bit sad on my part, I guess, because I've been completely thrown off these past few days. I mean, yesterday, BRE versus TNC. I was potentially expecting a 2-0 off TNC, but BRE getting that one win now. Infuse showing that they do have some fight in them. They do belong in the PGS. Sure, we've been gone for one season, but in the midst of that, we're prepared, and looks like we're going into a Game 3, Vulcan. Man.
And this will be Infuse Esports winning their first game in the PGS in the second week, and in Game 2, forcing a Game 3 against MSK. So, I think this could be a statement for Infuse. They did stand their ground. They got one of the high picks, and the savior was there, especially Hechiso, putting him on a more proactive jungler like the Kazakhs. This concludes the second game here, and we'll be going to a short break. My name is Vulcan, and with me was Arctic. See you after the short break for Game 3 of Match 1.
Oh, Isaac though, he's trying
Back
to...
away. He can't run away because the Wither cooldown should be up by now, so he only needs help from his team. Has to buy. Here comes the help. Ooh, instead Sachi with a 3-man knockout, but the glacial finisher is there for Minaski to win that clash. Gary gets the shot down from Isaac, making a double for Gary, and now here's Edris connecting the fight, extending it into Minaski's favor.
No,
Available, but Edris is not there. Baron will be going to Infuse Esports with a smite from Headstone. Secures the Baron, and now Isaac takes up Exo. Realm 1 is there for the flag, and now for Mineski, forced to back away, but will Headstone let that happen? He is low, Hamas is there. That is a dangerous Nasus, but they will go on it. They have the Baron, they have the numbers advantage. And their winning game, this is their winning clash, I guess.
Indeed, look at...
Great job by Infuse here. The timers are kind of huge because we're seeing a teleport coming in. I don't think Hamas can stall long enough, but can Mineski fight back here? Nexus is very low. Go written by Quang. One more hit. Yes, this will be Infused, forcing a Game 3 against Mineski.
Wow, there goes my prediction.